was looking for something that is not fantastical. No flying creatures and no things based on dreams and storytelling. The word that everybody uses is grounded. So for me, it was much more good to have the science be real, but the look of it actually still be like a kind of style of a movie that I wanted to make.
I am talking about a future where the aged and infirm can shed their prisons.
It doesn't seem that far-fetched. It doesn't feel like science fiction when you read it. You feel like, oh, this is something that could be done.
Be Mark.
And you also read it and you wonder, has it been done? You know, you wonder, has someone maybe gone through with this somewhere? Maybe Steve Jobs is still with us.
The initial idea for the story was actually Steve Jobs. You know, back in the day when he was doing all those iPhone presentations, he was on top of the world, but there were also all these reports about his struggle with cancer. And we're thinking, well, this is a guy who has everything, but at the same time, his body is failing him, and his money may not be able to save him. So we thought, well, what if his money could actually save him?
An old man dying, I'm supposed to say, that's life. Still feels like a kick in the nuts.
We spent a lot of time talking about the continuity of these two actors, making sure that there are signposts that Sir Ben Kingsley gives that Ryan Reynolds will have.
You just want to do something small that when we see Ryan Reynolds in the movie, you can see, okay, there is some of Ben in him.
So I wanted to shoot the movie in sequence. First have the older person, and then have the younger Damien ape him. But of course, when you start a movie, then so-and-so's not available, this is not available, that's what you get, and then suddenly you end up shooting the younger Hale first. And I just thought I'll figure something that Ryan does, and then try to see if I can reverse engineer it. And so for me, that's how it worked. And cut.
One of the subjects of this film is when you leave unfinished business, and this character has unfinished business. He never gets that opportunity to close that chapter with his daughter, and he sees a lot of his relationship with his daughter in Madeline in some ways.
Okay. Just let me listen. There are so many layers to the relationship. As it unfolds, Mark, who is Damien, starts to take care of us like a family. So as I start to lose Mark, I start caring for Damon in the sense where, like, I'm thankful and I'm grateful that this man is helping us stay alive and taking care of us, which makes me even more torn because I'm like, I want my husband.
I think he really learns to let go. I think he's learned that sometimes surrendering doesn't necessarily mean losing.
She's behind. She'll come and catch up with you. Then you guys can look at the fire for a little bit.
He really learns to let go of that hammerlock death grip that he has on this notion of existing forever and winning.
I think most people can relate. If you were older or if you were dying, would you or wouldn't you want to transfer your conscious to a younger body?
Elvis spin.
Wouldn't it be nice if Albert Einstein, for example, could have lived a little bit longer? He could have continued his theories.
Simply put, we offer humanity's greatest minds more time to fulfill their potential.
With every advance that we make scientifically, in terms of cell division, in terms of stem cells, in terms of sustaining life on machines, I hope that we do have the moral compass to accompany those leaps in science.
Just a little on the forehead.
Oh, you split him up because he's going to get pretty sweaty in 2 seconds.
When the character's given this new body, he's not unlike an organ transplant. His body can very quickly reject the new consciousness, so there's a very strict regimen of drugs that are given to him.
Think of it as the anti-rejection drug that you take after any transplant.
If you miss one of these pills, the consciousness that is in this body begins to lose its grip. Damien gains some insight and some clues through what we call glitches, which is just these little moments that he has that are kind of like seizures.
There is one glitch in the very beginning that happens that I think is surreal. The rest of the glitches, I wanted them to be much more psychedelic, very intrusive and hard to watch. That's information coming to this person.
Speed on both cameras?
We filmed those actually with all sorts of smaller cameras, almost like from the point of view of your two eyes watching it.
They're painful for the character. They're not beautiful. They're not anything. They're just really migraine-y and hard-heads. They're much more Ken Russell meets Gaspar Noir stuff. The design for that whole procedure, I always look at those just as MacGuffins. Things like MRI machines that they've stripped down.
Most of your typical MRIs and CT scanners have a plastic shroud that looks like a big donut. And we felt that that would not be as interesting as actually taking that away.
When you take the shell off of them, you can see all of the guts. It's very complicated and mysterious, and you don't know what that thing does, you don't know what this thing does, but it looks like it's doing something much more than taking just an X-ray.
So we actually have 2 working CT scanners in there. When you see it in the movie, it'll be all practical. It will not be CG.
It was a simplified design idea that turned, I mean, they look fantastic.
The shedding procedure, that's the thing that's most compelling about the film.
The idea of just being like 20 minutes in the future, slightly stylized, and everybody's correct obsession about living forever, that was addressed in this. And I just thought somewhere this will be a debate that's going to happen.
In your time, action.